Hello everyone, this is Mike Fauché, and in today's video, I want to talk about the Unifi AI Port, which allows you to add AI detection capabilities to your existing Unifi cameras, as well as ONVIF compatible devices. This is a great way to add capabilities without the need to replace your current cameras. However, currently there are a couple limitations, so watch the rest of this video to learn more about this device, and don't forget to like and subscribe as it really does help support the channel. One drawback of constantly changing technology is that there are times when features are added that were not available when you bought your device. AI detections such as license plate and facial recognition are some of these features not available on older Unifi Protect cameras, nor the integration of third-party ONVIF compatible devices. Unifi does pretty well when adding new features and firmware releases. However, newer AI features such as facial and license plate recognition require a bit more processing. To address this, Unifi has released the AI Port, which is effectively a parallel processor that handles these new features without the need to replace your cameras. Let's get into the hardware, talk about the specs, and then set the device up and go over some of the current limitations from this early release and talk about the future roadmap of the device. The packaging is very typical of what we've learned to expect from Ubiquiti, and it's really simple and effective. Inside the box, you get the device holder, a template with a built-in level for mounting, wall screws, and 2 heavy zip ties, and the device itself. The AI port's a little bigger than you might think, measuring about 5.9 by 2.5 by 1.5 inches, or 150 by 64 by 38.4 millimeters, just for the device itself. On one end, there's an SD card for recording locally. This feature is currently not activated and will be in a later firmware release. On the other end are 2 RJ45 ports. The first is the PoE input to provide data and power to the device itself, and depending on your configuration needs, the other port can drive a single Unifi or third-party PoE camera. This connection isn't mandatory, as the device can sit and work as a standalone AI controller and be tucked away on a shelf somewhere, or use the rack mount unit, which can hold up to 6 of these devices. I decided to use the rack mount because I'll be adding at least 1 or 2 more of these devices as they become more available and as the software develops. Looking at the front of the rack mount, once you mount the device, you can see the 2 RJ45 jacks coming right out the front. Now that we've seen the hardware, let's go ahead and plug this guy in and see what happens. Like all other Unifi devices, as soon as you plug it in, it automatically is detected and it shows up with the option to adopt. When you click adopt, it'll go ahead and adopt the device as well as upgrade any firmware if firmware is available. Once everything is adopted, you'll see the option to click to pair, and as soon as you click, you'll get a dialog box that comes up that allows you to pair the device to the camera of your choice. Currently, the software is still being updated, and this initial release currently supports only 1 camera, whether it's a third-party or a Unifi camera. However, an upcoming release will expand the use and support 2 2K ONVIF cameras or 3 HD ONVIF cameras, as well as up to 5 Unifi Protect cameras. If the camera you add is a third-party ONVIF device, you can click on the Advanced option and it will allow you to add the IP address, username, and password for the device. Once you've selected the camera and you want to pair it to, hit Save, and you'll see the screen that introduces you to face detection and allows you to enable it. You can always pair the AI port to a different camera at any time, so you're not locked in once it's paired. Though this device is released, the firmware is still very early days, and as I mentioned, it currently only supports 1 camera at a time. So hopefully the update will be available soon so that we can use it on multiple cameras. Now that we've set this up, let's test it out and go over some of the features the AI port has to offer. If I look at the camera I just assigned the AI port to, you'll see the AI logo next to it. Clicking on the camera opens up the properties box where I can see the overview, and selecting the record option shows me where the AI events are now enabled and allows me to edit the AI detection types. If I click on the AI port itself, I don't have a lot of settings as the features are actually added to the camera itself. The only thing we see on the properties screen is the device information and the option to manage the device, which basically allows you to assign the AI port to a different camera, and soon the ability to add more cameras. Looking at the settings screen, we have the name, restart, and remove. Going quickly over to the settings and selecting System, we need to enable the license plate recognition if we want to use it, as it's currently off by default. While we're on this screen, I did want to mention that though it's not really related to the AI port, they did add another feature that I really wanted for quite a while now, and that's continuous archiving. I'll cover more on that in a future Protect video. With the latest version of Protect, we now have some options on the sidebar, including Find Anything, People, and Vehicles. If we click on Find Anything, we see all the detections from all the cameras, much like we did before, and we're allowed to toggle smart detections on and off. If we click on People, we see all the various detections with people, and on the top we now have a button called Faces, and it will show you the database of all the face recognition that it has collected so far and allow you to name the faces so that they can be used in future events. There will also be times when it reads the same person as different people. Protect allows you to merge these different images and views under the same name to allow future detections to be more accurate. Clicking on Vehicles will show you the vehicle detections, and clicking on License Plates again will show you only the license plate detections. So what do I think of the AI port, and should you consider getting one for yourself? The device itself performs really well and adds some really powerful features to your current system. However, the current downside is obviously the price. At $199 with the current limitation of one camera, it's not a great value, and you could argue you're better off changing out your camera. However, after the update, when you're able to use 2 or more cameras, especially if you're on the UniFi ecosystem, the value proposition changes drastically. Given that you'll be able to use up to 5 UniFi cameras from a single device, once they provide the upgrade, the value changes and it becomes an inexpensive upgrade that allows you to add very powerful new features to your current setup without having the need to replace your current cameras. Even if you only use it with 2 third-party ONVIF cameras, it is arguably a good deal given your older cameras new life with powerful new features for about $100 a camera and very little installation. For me, once the update is provided, I'll be able to actually get by with 2, possibly 3 of these devices and cover the entire range of my outdoor cameras. I'm really excited and look forward to this new release. Let me know in the comments if you have any questions on this device. I'll be doing an updated Protect video here shortly because of all the changes that I've made on my own system and the updates that UniFi has added to Protect. Anyway, that's about it for today's video, and thanks for watching. I'll see you on the next one.